Hey guys, it's Krystal Lee Moore Lucier here, also known as your home sweet home 519 Realtor, Krystal Lee Moore, and I am so happy you're here. This is Realtor Life, a fun and entertaining look at life in the trenches as a real estate professional in Ontario. Let's get started. So today we're going to be talking about scheduling your week, staying on track, and picking your motivation. So let's jump right in. So as an entrepreneur, we have the ability to schedule our weeks, which is fantastic. We feel when we first start, we can do anything. We could sleep in, we can have appointments at times when other people don't have them, skip the line, etc., etc. But what happens when we kind of take away that structure is we may find ourselves less productive. So I think the biggest thing is to make sure that you do schedule time to do your work. And what does your work mean? So as a realtor, your work might mean that you're actually selling a house. That's fantastic. That's what we want. Yay. But more often than not, your work also means all the stuff that gets you to the point that you're actually selling a house. So our lead gen, calling people, sending notes, dropping by, adding to your database, sending referrals, receiving referrals, networking, all of these things that we don't really pay attention to when we get into the business because we think, oh, we'll just get clients. But it doesn't matter how good you are at selling a house if you don't have someone to sell it to or you don't have a house to sell. It's pretty slim pickings out there. So you have to put that work in. And the company I work with, Buffini and Company, so they recommend 2 hours a day. So those 2 hours, you just want to block them out. And that's 2 actual hours, not 2 hours when you say you're working and you scroll Facebook, or 2 hours as you get your errands done, not 2 hours sitting on the couch, maybe in your pajamas. Because as Buffini says, if it is 10 a.m. and you are in your pajamas, working from home, you're not working. You're just home. So make sure that you're ready for the day. It's really good to get on the phone, maybe voice to voice, face to face with people. Setting up coffees is great. And if you find yourself kind of at a lack of clients or you don't really have any active people you're working with, this is a great time to tap into your business network. There are tons of people out there in business trying to get clients as well. So why don't you try and get clients together? Referral business is big business. And if you can get to know someone, you'll find out how they work. And this includes mortgage brokers, lawyers, inspectors, painters, insurance people, financial advisors. There's so many people and so many kind of hands in helping people buy homes and sell homes. It's a great idea to make sure that your network is full of people that can help, but who you also know. And what better way to get to know them than to call them and sit down for coffee or a meeting? So having that schedule is good. And you can pick, that's the part about being an entrepreneur that's kind of awesome, is you can really choose when you want it to be. Some people like that time to be right in the morning, let's say like a 9 to 11 a.m. And that is a great time if that works for you. So the best part about this job and this business, as I've mentioned many times before, is that you really get to customize it. So you get to think, where am I my most productive and when can I actually do that? Because then you'll also have to schedule in time to show clients homes and to do open houses, to do the work for clients. And as you get going, you'll realize you'll have more to do than you have hours to do it in. So scheduling it can really help. And you also don't want to get so caught up in the busy work that you don't actually get any new clients. So making sure that for that lead generation, making sure you've scheduled the time, it's a huge deal. You also want to make sure that you're putting in your self-care time. So maybe that's reading, exercising, meditating, doing a hobby, spending time with your family, all these wonderful things. And also making sure you're vacationing, taking a day off. Burnout is a real thing. It's not good, and it can really take you out of the game for weeks if you're not careful. So just make sure that you are scheduling time for you. And you can put in special kind of appointments, things like that into your calendar, but making sure that that schedule is done in advance is amazing, because on Monday morning, you don't want to just be kind of chasing a string of all the things that come up. You can take the control back, and it actually lowers stress and anxiety, which is a big deal. Okay, so staying on track. I've mentioned before, and I think it's important, there are times in our lives and our businesses where we have it all together, or we feel like we do. We probably don't, but we feel like we do. So we have kind of like, we feel like we're making strides, we're motivated, it's great. And then other times, for some reason, we don't really understand why, but no, it does not feel good. And what can we kind of attribute that to? So when we look at kind of what we're reading, this is very similar to what I was talking about with what you put in. What we're reading, what we're listening to, who we're spending time with. Are we moving our bodies? Are we exercising our mind? We just had this amazing presentation. And of course, I'm going to block his name. Great guy. But he said, we want to exercise our minds, our souls, and our bodies every single day. Every single day. And it is so important because if we think about how busy life gets, you can have days when you do not get off your chair. You're working, and it feels like you're working the whole day, or you're driving the whole day. I've had days like that where I have appointments basically from the time I wake up until the time I kind of get home, and you eat in your car. It's not glamorous, and it's good to be busy, but this whole kind of badge of busyness that so many of us wear as entrepreneurs is getting kind of, the season for this is coming down, because being really busy is also a sign of not managing your time properly. So the most successful, wealthy people right now are kind of getting their time back. They're getting time and freedom to do what they want to do. So if they want to join something, if they want to play a musical instrument, if they want to read or go on a retreat, they're able to do these things. They're not kind of chained to being busy. And it's important that you find your joie de vivre, your raison d'être, why are you here? And I guarantee you're not here to make a paycheck. You're here to do something that matters. If what you're doing in your career as a realtor, if that matters, you're making an impact, absolutely, go for it. 10 speed, 10 stars, whatever. But make sure that that's what it is. And it's not just chasing after money. If money is really a motivator for you because it allows you to do more things, then just lean into the motivation of that and make sure that whatever you are motivated by, it's still there if you have a slow week or a slow month. Because real estate is like this. We do a lot of work so that our income is kind of like this. Hopefully it goes up. But real estate is an up and down business. During COVID, it was a very kind of, oh my goodness, busy, always getting more and more. And a lot of realtors are struggling this year, especially. It started last year, but this year especially, because we're kind of in a culture where you feel like you always want to do better than you did the year before. And your coaches will tell you that, and your mentors will tell you that. And it makes sense. You always want to be growing. But when you have anomaly years like 2020, 2021, and 2022, it's very hard for your brain to kind of wrestle with the fact that you may not be doing 2022 business. And it's not because you're not working just as hard. It's just the market has changed. And our business, it relies on the market. There are always going to be houses to sell and clients to sell them to. But the question is, can you find them? And will you do the work? Are you willing to do the work to find those clients and serve them and build a lifelong business with referrals and just make an impact? You can make an impact with one person. You can make an impact with a community. You can make an impact with the world. There's no rules about this. You just figure out what's right for you. So, scheduling the week and staying on track. Then picking your motivation. So what does that even mean? So everyone is motivated by different things. When I ran a class at my brokerage, Royal LePage Triland, I was running a Buffini class. And what I would do is little extra things to motivate people. And I asked everyone, do you like motivational videos? So as my friend Karen says, like the woo-woo stuff. Do you like it? Is it for you? And I was surprised that like 25% of the room was like, absolutely not. Get me away from those videos. And that was interesting to me because I'm so motivated by these videos. Like they do have to be, there has to be substance to the motivation. So I know I've had the opportunity to be in front of a lot of keynote speakers. You kind of can start to tell when it's just woo-woo with nothing, and it's a little bit more empty. But when it's woo-woo with a message and a motivation, and it really, really drives you. Like Zig Ziglar says, motivation is like bathing. You have to do it daily because it doesn't last. It is important that you figure out what motivates you. So whether that's going for a walk, I know moving my body, huge. If I go on a walk, I always come up with something cool. I was working out today and I realized that I've been looking for somewhere to play guitar. So I started playing guitar and ukulele during COVID. And for whatever reason, I just can't bring myself to play in front of a group of people, whatever that's about. Probably because I absolutely love it, but I don't think I'm at like that level yet, whatever level. But if you love something, do it. So I put out a post on Facebook to a bunch of people and just said, hey, who plays a musical instrument? How long have you played and what do you play? And I'm just going to reach out and see if people want to play together and just have some fun. Because I'm not looking to record a record anytime soon. I'm just really loving it. But things like that, I was trying to figure out like how to do it. You can brainstorm when your body is busy getting its fuel. Your mind can just figure things out. That's how I figured out how to hire an assistant. That is how I figured out a transaction coordinator, someone I was going to hire, but I actually just created a spreadsheet for myself. It's things like that. Where are you going to get the most juice in your mind, I guess? Motivational seminars. I absolutely love conferences and motivational speakers, but that's me. So what motivates you? Books are an amazing way to add to your things, especially motivation. I'm currently reading this wonderful book by Sharma called The Saint, the Surfer, and the CEO. It kind of showed up in my hands in a cool, fate, universe, God way. And I'm excited. I have a rule I've mentioned before, but 10 pages a day minimum. So I would say if you want to read and you don't know if you're the reader yet, just 10 pages a day. So you can read more, there's no rule, but if you say I'm going to read 10 pages of a book a day, you'll finish a book in a month. And 10 pages isn't bad. It's hard to read at night. I find if you read at night, I get so tired. I'm like 5 pages in and I'll fall asleep. But I will read on the treadmill or on the elliptical, or I'll read in the morning with my coffee. 10 minutes. It's fantastic. And you just learn so much. And they might even be something that you've heard before, but it's just said in a different way and it just clicks in. So really cool stuff. And it really is just about filling your mind with these amazing things. So just remember that it's whatever motivation does it for you. Sometimes it's music. Music can be so motivating, especially if you're working out. When we write goals with Buffini, and I do it too for journaling, he uses the Road to Perdition soundtrack, but you could actually just take a look on YouTube or on Spotify and just film orchestra or film symphony, and you'll get all these background tracks to movies. Like some of them are just so good. Like Shawshank Redemption is amazing. Driving Miss Daisy. There's an amazing one, and the movie it's called My Half Brother, and the picture is like the guy's holding a goat. So I don't know about the movie, but the music is just Legend from the Falls. It's really, really great. So just take a peek. It's really great background music just to help you if you're journaling or writing goals or trying to work, especially if you have undiagnosed ADHD, like most of us, I think. It's a great background sound. And the key is just to figure out what is going to work. I'm also reading a book by Vanessa Van Edwards right now called Charisma. It's called Captivate. And it is so good. So Vanessa is an awesome speaker. She spoke at Mastermind in San Diego in 2024 for Buffini. And she really dives into human interaction. There's also one called Supercommunicators by Charles Duhig. So good. And Jon Acuff has an amazing book about your soundtracks, so your internal soundtracks. There are so many good books out there. And the best part about reading a book like this is you can take someone else has spent a lot of time all of their own experiences and then a lot of research, and they've compiled it into a book that has been reviewed and edited, and it's become something that you can actually use for your own motivation. So I think that's pretty fantastic, and you can kind of skip some steps. It is like, why reinvent the wheel? You can have your own experiences, but you can also learn from other people, and it's fantastic. So all that to say, number one, schedule your week. Make sure you're getting everything scheduled. Sundays are a good day to do it. Stay on track. So what is going to bring you back on track? So whether that's just writing, maybe it's a to-do list, maybe it is a calendar, maybe it's I love the CRM, the referral maker from Buffini. I have to call a certain number of people every week, write notes a certain number every week, and I have to pop by a certain number. I also have to send out referrals and receive referrals. So there's a tracking that helps me make sure that I am always keeping the machine moving, and also making sure that I take those rest days. And then, pick your motivation. So whatever that is, it can be several things. It doesn't have to be just one thing. But what is going to make you be your best you? So have fun thinking about it. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Krystal Lee Moore Lucier, also known as your Home Sweet Home 519 Realtor. Krystal Lee Moore. So happy you're here.